Hey everybody, installing a hitch on your Kia Niro can take you to a lot of fun places like camping and bike riding. You can also tow a U-Haul trailer almost anywhere in North America. Let's break down this hitch install. You'll need the tools seen here to complete this installation. We're going to start this install by removing this underbelly pan. It has 7 push clips, 4 10mm bolts, and 2 plastic nuts. I'm just going to use a screwdriver to pop these off, but you can use a body pin remover. And these I'm just going to unscrew by hand. They don't actually come completely off. They're affixed to the body panel, so you just need to get them loose for when I take the 10mm bolts off. There are 2 more nuts, one here and one in the same spot on the other side. On some models of the Kia Niro, when you go to install the hitch, there is a gap between the hitch and the frame, and you have to use these particular spacers. On this particular application, there is no gap, so we will not be using these. In this particular application, there is a tab in the center right here that we need to remove for the installation. We just take the little razor blade, score it, and rip it off. Now we're going to raise this hitch into place using U-Haul's exclusive hitch jack. If you don't happen to have one of these, I'd advise you getting a second pair of hands because sometimes these hitches can be heavy. Okay, now we're going to use the hitch hardware. There are 2 18mm bolts with conical washers. You want to make sure that the conical washers are facing the teeth towards the hitch. There are 2 of these on each side. Now I'm going to torque these down to manufacturer specs. You can find those in the description down below. Now before we place our underbelly panel back on, the manufacturer's instructions state that we need to cut out a 4 by 2 1/4 section of this panel. I have already pre-measured it out and taped it off so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to use an air saw to cut it out real quick. Now that we've cut our hole out, we're ready to reinstall our underbelly panel. I'm going to line it up in front of the hitch, and I'm going to push these plastic nuts back on. Hold it in place while I prep everything else. We're going to start by putting our clips back in. We are only putting 6 clips back in because if you remember earlier in the video, I cut this center one out. Now it's time to put the nuts back on. With the hitch installed, we brought the car down to level ground so we can show you some important measurements for your hitch accessories. It's a 2-inch receiver. It's 4 inches from the edge of the pinhole to the edge of the bumper, and it's 12 1/4 inches from the ground to the top of the hitch. This will help you determine the length, rise, and drop for your hitch accessories such as bike rack or cargo carrier. If you have any questions about the products seen in this video, or if you'd like to schedule an installation with a U-Haul Hitch Professional, visit us online today at uhaulhitches.com.